students of BA Part 2 English Honors. A very warm morning to you people all. After a long gap, I am once again with you through my channel. You know the fact very well that this pandemic, that is COVID-19, is spreading very fast. It has taken a very dangerous and disastrous form. It is spreading now on the community level, and so many people, so many brothers and sisters of ours have to die because of it, or in other words, it has taken the lives of so many people, not only in India but all over the world. So corona or COVID-19 is taking its toll. One reason behind this is this, that we people have gone careless about it or regarding it. Whatsoever safety measures we have to adopt, or we have been asked, or we have been suggested by the administration or by the government, we are ignoring that. So dear students or dear friends, we must not ignore them. We must accept their suggestions. We must use masks. We must wash our hands. We must sanitize ourselves. We must मेंटेन सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग और पर्सनल डिस्टेंसिंग, जो एक दूरी है, जो सामाजिक दूरी है, जो सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग है, जो अलग अलग रहना है, थोड़ी दूरी बना के रहना है, वी मस्ट एबाइड बाय. However, we must not get panicked. We must not lose our hearts. We will win. Ultimately, this deadly or dangerous pandemic or epidemic will lose itself, will die, and we will be victorious. Dear students, I remember very well that in one of my previous classes, I have started discussing with you, or I have discussed with you a very beautiful chapter which has been prescribed for you people in your fourth paper, and that particular chapter is Giant Despair. This chapter is prescribed for you in the fourth paper, and the textbook is Prose Down the Ages. Today, I have a good mind to continue this chapter, because that particular day, the class has been dedicated only upon its source. That day, the task has not been completed. Today, as you people know the fact very well, that this Giant Despair is an excerpt, EXCERPT. It has been taken, this excerpt is taken from Bunyan's The Pilgrim's Progress from this world to that which is to come, which has been published in 1678. You know the fact very well that Bunyan is a 16th or 17th century novelist. In that class of mine, I have told you that Bunyan is considered to be the pioneer of English novel. This is a novel, the Pilgrim's Progress from this world to that which is to come is a novel written by John Bunyan, who is born in 1638 and has left for his heavenly abode in 1688. So Banyan is a 17th century. He is a 17th century essayist, you can say, a prose writer, a novelist, or a fiction writer. You should pardon me that I have told you earlier that he belongs to 16th century, rather he belongs to the 17th century. So he is a 17th century prose master. He is a great prose writer, and as I have told you, he is the pioneer of English fiction and English literature. So the Pilgrim's Progress from this world to that which is to come is a Christian allegory. It is a religious or theological fiction, and the wonderful thing regarding this novel is this, that this novel was very much popular. It has been translated into 200 languages, which we had discussed that particular day. Here, the novelist presents the life of human being as a journey. We are the travelers. We are the pilgrims. We are on the pilgrimage from this world, that is the earthly world. We have to go to that heavenly world. Therefore, the title is The Pilgrim's Progress. We all are pilgrims. This life, this continuation of breathing, the coming of breath and the passing of breath, the inhaling and exhaling are our progress. So we are marching. With each passing breath of ours, we are marching towards our final goal, that is our grave. And after grave, we are supposed to go into that particular world, that is the spiritual world, that is the heavenly world. So the Pilgrim's Progress from this world, and this world means the world in which we are living, ये दुनिया जिस दुनिया में हम रह रहे हैं, to that, उस दुनिया में which is to come, जो आने वाली दुनिया है. So this work has been published in 1678, and here you know it is a Christian allegory, and in allegory the characters are always abstract nouns. So here there is a character named Christian. If you have the book, please open the book and turn to the chapter that is Giant Despair. So here in the book you will find there is a character named Christian. Here this character Christian stands for all of us. We all are like the character Christian. We all are doing the same as Christian does here in the chapter. We all are travelers like the Christian. So here Christian, the character Christian, starts his journey. He has a friend of his named Hopeful. As I have told you, in allegory, all the characters are abstract nouns. जो allegory होती है उसमें सारे characters जो होते हैं वो abstract nouns होते हैं. तो here Christian has a friend and his name is Hopeful. What for Christian starts his journey? Wherefore he is going? What is there in his mind regarding the journey? What does he think of availing from this journey? All these things have been provided in the chapter. However, I have told you this chapter is very short, since it is an excerpt, excerpt. This novel, that is the Pilgrim's Progress from this world to that which is to come, has been divided into two parts. It is a voluminous novel, you can say, and this Giant Despair comes in the very first part of this particular novel. So Christian starts his journey leaving his family, Leaving, leaving his family. So he has his family. In his family he has his wife, his children. He lives, lives, in his hometown, that is the city of destruction. Almost all the names in an allegory is symbolical. एलेगरी में जितने भी नाम्स होते हैं, जो नेम्स होते हैं, सारे एलेगोरिक, सारे सिंबॉलिकल होते हैं, सिंबल में वो बात करते हैं, सारे प्रतीक होते हैं. तो हियर क्रिश्चियन इज लिविंग एंड LIVING and he is living with his family, with his wife and children in the town, and his hometown is known as the city of destruction. Name, see, the city of destruction. You know the word destruction. The city of destruction. And from this place, from the city of destruction, he is going to reach the celestial city, that is heaven. The city of destruction is the symbol. It is symbolical of this world in which we all are living. And this celestial city is the symbol of heaven. You know, our soul is immortal. Our body dies, and this human life is the mixture of, the mingling of, the joining of, you can say, both the body and soul. The body without soul is good for nothing. So soul is the center of this body, and you know, the soul is immortal. The soul never dies. The ultimate reality of life, the ultimate reality of this body is the grave. Christianity says, in Christian, the Bible says that dust thou art and to dust returnest. This human body is made of 5 elements, and after death the body is going to mix in those 5 elements, that is Chiti, Jal, Pavak, Gagan or Samira. That is, we have to get mixed. We have to go once again in the sky. We have to go mix in air. We have to mix in soil. We have to mix in fire. We have to mix in air. So this is the destiny of human body, but it is not the destiny of our soul, because soul never dies. It is free. It is independent, and the soul journeys. It goes to that particular place from where it has been sent upon the earth, upon this world. And there the soul is questioned. The soul is put to task. The cleanliness of the soul is searched there, is judged there. Therefore, in every religion, it is told that we must keep our soul neat and clean. Dear students, there is no soap which can clean your soul as it cleans your body. You get some dirt upon that, upon your skin. You apply some soap, and that dirt is washed away, that is washed out. Of course, there is soap, that is the soap of good thought, that cleans our soul, that cleans the dirt, that we put upon the soul, you can say. So if you go on thinking in a good way, if with think good, naturally our actions will be good. If our actions will be good, reactions will be good, and our soul will be neat and clean, and it will help us, it will help the soul to reach that particular place in a beautiful way, in a very comfortable way. Therefore, every religion asks us, every religion suggests us to think good and to act good. So here Christian gets the knowledge of his sin, and just to get rid of his sin, he decides to carry on his journey, carry on this very journey, because he thinks that this burden will cause him sink in hell. He wants to get rid of his sins. Why do we go in this particular world? Also in the world we are living, we go on pilgrimage. We go to our pilgrim places, you can say, as per our religious beliefs. We go. The Hindus go to the temples. The Muslims go to mosques. The Sikhs goes to gurudwaras. The Christians go to churches. What for? We go there to get blessed. We go there to get rid of our sins. We go there to ask mercy, to ask forgiveness from the Almighty. So here also, Christian asks his wife and children to be with him, but they deny. They are not at all interested to go with him. Therefore, Christian decides to go to that particular place all alone. However, he has a friend named Hopeful, and that friend of his accompanies him. The Christian does not know the place. Christian does not know the way, how to reach that celestial city that is atop Mount Zion. Mount Zion के ऊपर में ये स्थित है. That is the celestial city, and you know the fact very well that good things are always atop. जो अच्छी चीजें होती हैं वो हमेशा ऊंचाई पर होती हैं. And for that, this means for that we have to go upward, and therefore it is told life is an uphill task. Life is very tough. The journey of life is not so smooth as the flowing of water. The water always flows downward, and if we have to take water up, we have to use some force, and you know, we use the force of motor, and then water is pumped upward. So life is an upward journey, and this celestial city is atop, ऊपर पर है, सबसे ऊपर, atop Mount Zion. ये Mount Zion के atop पर है, and this is told to Christian. Christian is told about this particular place and how to go there, how to reach there by an evangelist. And Christian starts his journey. He, of course, in his journey, he comes so many problems. He is surrounded with so many difficulties. Sometimes he gets despair, he gets panicked. Sometimes he feels very happy. So he starts his journey along with hopeful Christian, carries on his journey with his friend hopeful. They pass so many happy days, at the same time so many rough days also. They pass a pillar of salt in the shape of a woman, upon which is written, "Remember Lot's wife." They come to a pleasant river. After passing a pillar of salt, they come to a place, and there a very pleasant river is flowing, and there are, you can say, there are meadows, and that place is very comfortable. That place is very luxurious, you can say. That place is very fertile. There are so many flowers. There are so many fruit trees. The water of that particular river, and that river is known as the river of God, or the river of water of life. And that river is lined with fruit trees and beautiful meadows. There are so many flowers. That place is very, very pleasant. The water is very cool. It's very refreshing. They stop there. They bath in that particular river. They drink the cool water of that particular river. They become very happy. They are very much tired, you can say. They are very much very much weary, you can say. That their bathing or their drinking of water refresh them. They feel energized. They feel strengthened. They spend few days there, enjoying the coolness of water, enjoying the brightness of flowers there, smelling fragrance of beautiful flowers there. They spend a few days there, and after that they resume their journey, having strength, getting energized, getting refreshed. They resume their journey. They start their journey once again. Who are they? Christian and hopeful. Christian and hopeful, after spending few days there at the bank of that particular river that is known as the river of God, or the river of the water of life, start their journey, resume their journey. And they resume their journey along the you can say by the side or along the line of the river. They travel some distance. Up to some distance, the road is good one, the path is nice one. But after traveling some distance, they find that the path, the way veers off, V-E-E-R-S, veers off onto rough ground, which proves very hard for their sore feet. The long traveling have caused some sore in their feet, as it causes in our feet when we go on our pilgrimage to Devghar or some particular, we try to travel some particular distance. If we walk, if we travel naked feet, you can say, we develop some sore. So there are some sore, and the way is troublesome. The way is stony one, pebbly one, pebbles are there, thorny one, as you might have seen in the Ramayana serial. In the Ramayana serial, you might have seen Lord Ram walking through the stony ways with his wife, along with his wife Sita and younger brother Lakshmana. So now the way is very tough, the way is very rough, it is stony, it is thorny, there are pebbles on the way, the pebbles are prickly, and they get very much panicked. How to carry on their journey? The road poses a question against their journey, how to carry on their journey. They get discouraged. Here, so they resume their journey along the side of the river. After some distance, the way veers off onto rough ground, which proves very hard to their sore feet. They get discouraged and anyhow reach to another meadow and a stile, stile, to go over into it. Christian thinks or suggests that that particular way could be easy for their journey. He climbs over the stile to have a look. He finds the path good one, and he persuades hopeful that they should take it. What happens? When they resume their journey, they travel some distance. So up to some distance, the way is good one. After that, they find the way troublesome, the way weary, Veery, full of stones, you can say, full of thorns, you can say, full of pebbles, you can say, prickly pebbles, you can say, and they get disheartened. Both Christian and hopeful get disheartened. It is very tough for them to carry on now their journey because their feet have developed many sores. Anyhow, they reach to a meadow there. Meadow, घास के मैदान, meadow there. And there, Christian finds a stile, stile. He climbs upon that and gets a look of that particular area, that way, you can say. And he finds that way, the latter way, you can say, congenial and comfortable to walk upon. He suggests hopeful to go that particular way, to go by that way, to choose that particular way, thinking that way is comfortable, it is good one for their sore feet. Here they meet another pilgrim named Vain Confidence. Vain Confidence. Confidence is good one. But when confidence becomes vain, V-A-I-N, it becomes troublesome. You are smart, it's good one. But when you go over smart, it proves to be your demerit. So here they meet one of his friends, and he is vain confidence, and he assures them that he knows the way and asks them to follow and goes ahead. Both Christian and hopeful there find a friend. His name is Vain Confidence, V-A-I-N, Vain, C-O-N-F-I-D-E-N-C, Vain Confidence. And that Vain Confidence, that is their new friend, assures them that that particular way is very much known to him. He knows that particular area because he belongs to that particular region. So they must not get panicked. They must not get disheartened. They must not lose their heart. It is he, and he will guide them to reach to the particular place where they want to reach. And he asks them to follow him. And he goes ahead of them. उनको कहता है वो कि आप हमारे पीछे पीछे आए, और वो थोड़ा आगे निकल जाता है. The evening sets in, it gets dark, and now these travelers, these pilgrims, that is Christian and hopeful, fail to have a look of them. That's a look of him, that is his new friend, Vain Confidence. They follow him. The evening sets in, it gets dark. They lose sight of him, but moves on. They lose sight of Vain Confidence, but they do not stop their journey. They carry on moving. They carry on walking. They carry on their journey, but only to hear a loud cry and a heavy thud, T-H-U-D, thud, to the falling sound of someone. A loud cry, and this loud cry is the cry of his friend, new friend, Vain Confidence, and he falls and dies and gets killed. They turn back. They get panicked. They turn back. They do not know the place where they are. They do not know the name. They do not know anything. They have no idea regarding the place where they are. The night is thick one. And it was not only dark there. It starts raining with lightning and thunder. There is no other option for them to be there, getting drenched. They decide to spend that particular night in that particular place, in that particular meadow. They lie down, L-I-E, lie. They lie down there and sleep. They are very much tired. Even if it is raining, even if it is lightning, even if it is thundering, they lie and they sleep. They go into the lap of sleep. They are fast asleep. And when in the morning they wake up, or rather they are made to wake up. When they open their eyes, they find that they are in the seas, in the capture of the giant, that is despair. he arrests them, alleging that they have trespassed, TRESPASSED, they have trespassed into his region without his permission. They have crossed the border from India to Pakistan and Pakistan to India without any permission. They have no visa, they have no passport. How have they come there? How they dared to enter into his region, into his meadow, and they are dragged into his castle, that is Doubting Castle, DOUBTING castle, the place where Giant Despair lives, his residence, his killa, his fort, FORTE, is known. His fort, his fort, FORTE, fort is known as Doubting Castle. They are captured, they are arrested. Who? Both Christian and hopeful. They are tortured. When they are interrogated by the giant, they reveal their identity. The giant knows that they are the religious people. They are going to the city of, they are going to the celestial city. They are the righteous person, RIGHTEOUS. They are the righteous person. They are the good persons. Therefore, how can a giant, how can a monster, how can a devil like good people, religious people? He has a wife. Giant Despair has a wife, and her name is Diffidence. The Giant Despair beats them black and blue, and at the suggestion of his wife, Giant Despair asks them to commit suicide, to lose their life. However, they are not ready to do so. They are beaten and beaten. They are beaten black and blue. Sometimes Christian lose or seems to lose his confidence. He thinks it is better to die than to live such a hellish life. Sometimes he thinks to commit suicide. But there is hopeful, his friend. He always suggests him not to do so. He always suggests him to wait. He always suggests him that some good days, happy days, bright days will come, and they must have faith in God. They must pray to God, and they do so. They pray to God, and while praying, while they are in prayer, Christian shouts loudly. He gives a loud cry, telling how an idiot he is, how a foolish person he has been. Why should he think in terms of commit suicide? Why should he think in terms of dying? Even if he is locked up, he has the key and that key is the key of promise. Christian has the key of promise, and that is a master key. It can open any lock. So he must not, they must not get disheartened. He applies that key of promise upon the lock of the gate, and the gate opens. And he opens the gate. However, the rusty hinges, HINGES, कब्जा जिसको आप कहते हैं, जिस पे जंग लगा हुआ है, it makes some noise, and that noise awakes the giant. He follows them, but by the grace of God, they run away from there, and they save themselves from the octopus hold of the giant. So dear students, this is the summary of the chapter, that is Giant Despair, in a nutshell. In my next class, I will try to go through the text. I will try to read out some of the important lines. I will try to explain some of those important or explanatory lines for you people. You should also try to go through the chapter on your own for your proper understanding. Till then, have a very nice day. Don't get panicked of this pandemic or epidemic. Just adopt or go by the safety measures which have been taught to you, which have been suggested to you, and let us fight against this epidemic. Thanks a lot. Have a very nice day. God bless you.